All right, everyone, good morning and welcome to today's Tilt. I imagine y'all are going to see this Monday morning rather than Friday afternoon, unless Marla, if I'm able to upload this, she will get it to you on Friday. So today I had a great opportunity to go down to an event in Bellevue called Kairos. And we went with a couple of our team members, and it's always a great group of people and really good speakers all around putting your faith and your work together. How do you live out your faith in your workplace? But the speaker was speaking about human performance. And some of what he was talking about, I just thought I would share with all of you that you might take something away from it today. So one is, he advises elite athletes. So he's a mindset coach and performance coach for unbelievably high-end athletes and CEOs. And in that work, he says, you know what I want you guys to do is write down as a table. We're all in tables, broke us up. There's 100 plus people. But then he says, I want you guys to come up with the list and write it down of all of the attributes required for somebody to be an elite athlete. And of course, we're coming up with things like diligence and hard work and grit and some natural talent and all of these things. And then after he, gave us a couple minutes to brainstorm, a few people shared. And then he says, what does it take? I want you as your tables to work together and tell me, what does it take to be elite in business? And what was incredible, and as you might imagine, is we all kind of chuckled. It's like, you got us. It's the same stuff. It's the grit, it's the diligent, it's a supportive team behind you. It's all of these things to be an elite athlete are the same to have an elite life. You want to have an elite marriage, if you want to have a family unit that's elite, then these are things that you have to do. And then he said, but there's only 3 things that we can train. And the 3 things are your body, you can train for your craft and say a particular skill, and you can train your mind and mindset. So I just I loved that as a framework. Then the name of his talk, which I should tell you guys who this is. So big shout out to Gary Chupik. Elite Management is the name of his, or Elite Mindset is the name of his company. But the topic was the 5 no's of an elite mindset. And it was, know who are you? Know who you are. And then 2 is know what you want. 3 is why do you want it? And he said something really good after that, which is, who do you want it for? And it's something that Pete Carroll told him when he was working with the Seahawks. He said, Pete Carroll said, behind everybody's why is a who. And that if you really boil down your why you're working in life, why you're working your career, why you're working on your craft, why you're working on your mindset, it is for, it could be yourself, right? That's possible, but for many of us, it's the legacy for our children, the influence we're gonna have at church or in our community. That's what we're shooting for, but those are the who we are doing things for can often carry us through incredible difficulties. And then last is, how badly do you want it? And he did a great job of kind of mentioning that lots of times people don't really consider how hard are they willing to work to get to where they want to go. Too often people don't even set a real plan for where they want to go. They just keep working every day. So then once you know where you want to go and getting settled on the why you want to go there, and then get settled in the who you're doing it for. Something else that was a great mindset thing, or a little different way to look at the Old Testament and biblical history. He said, when you hear the artisans and the builders, those were the entrepreneurs of the day. And so you kind of think about it like there were business owners back then, but you don't find people having written about them. And so it's kind of neat to think that these people that were considered artisans or builders were the business owners in these ancient texts. So let me see if I got anything else. Okay, one last thing to leave you with today is, how do you get out of a slump? My friend Jeff Rogers, shout out to Jeff if he sees this. What a guy who's just had incredible influence on so many people. And he asked our speaker, Gary, how do you get out of a slump? And what he did, in the way he even answered the question, is it doesn't matter if it's a slump per se. You could just be stuck. You could be running behind. You could need to just step up your level of performance in some way. It doesn't need to be a slump. But he says there's all this research in professional sports and all of these athletes, etc. And what changes the momentum of a game is somebody makes a play. Somebody does something on that field of play that nobody expects, that turns the momentum. It's oftentimes a play made by a player that they wouldn't expect, like an interception or a touchdown made by a defensive man when they recovered a fumble. Those things suddenly change the game. It causes those more elite players to go, oh my gosh, if that new guy could do this, I'm stepping up the rest of the game. And it turns the momentum and allows the game to win. And so if you find yourself stuck or in a slump, maybe just think, what's the play I can make? What's the thing I can do that creates forward momentum to help me get at least bumping into something hard enough that I can figure out how to get through it. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. This is your reminder to take some time, listen to something, engage in some material that gets you away from the short attention span, expands your thinking, and gives you a better opportunity to tilt into the day.